guys, welcome to Quits Gaming. My name is Silvermore. Today we're back to playing The Letter, which is a horror visual novel. I apologize for being about 5 minutes late. I was making coffee and I burned my hand. And it hurt. A lot. But it's fine. It's fine. But it hurt. So, I had to cry in a corner for 5 minutes. That's just rude. Such rude people. I swear. You know, I don't know why I do these things for you if you're just gonna insult me. How's it going, Ed Granados? The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influence then. I won't hold it against her, though. Despite her hearsay and remaining in uninhabited years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. Feeling appealing. Say that 10 times fast. Feeling appealing, feeling appealing, feeling appealing, feeling appealing. Yeah, that's not as hard as I thought it would be. After all, with what it offers, this place is a definite haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm. Her face right now is like the most shit-eating grin.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners. What? Ed, that makes me very nervous when you just put ... The confused look on Rose's face is impossible to miss when she glances at me. I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment... Oh, is that good? Like, I always like not having school. Against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. Look at that salty bitch. Don't look at me like that. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under the mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah, right? I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home. This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix an awkward situation without offending someone. I had a rash. Ugh. No one wants to hear about your rash. That's gross. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. Really? I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in 5 years of working. I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
Oh, why did you have to uninstall Cuphead? That sucks. She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I've finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'll likely understand.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us, presumably to double-check with someone on her side. Seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. How is that disaster? How How was that disaster averted? She didn't own the fucking house. Also, I don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Ugh. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxborn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. You've been waiting an hour to reinstall it? I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, an agreement has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. It's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Well, and in reality, what's fair about real estate? Moments later, Miss McCulloch... I really want to overpronounce her name. Miss McCulloch returns, looking a little frustrated, but an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here.
Steam can be a bit of a pain in the ass.
I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Don't...
Okay, got it. Give me a few minutes.
Don't fucking rush me, bitch. Two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a hushed stillness to keep me company, neither comforting nor soothing. Santos dropped by St. So this is basically just like an entry of random shit that's happened. Alright. The change, the constant change in art style is kind of throwing me off, because they have the art style for this, which is kind of like shaded and almost like painted, and then they have the opening art style, which is all cell shading, just kind of... That's concerning. How's it going, Cuervo? Again, the painted style, it's throwing me off. Okay, well, apparently these are people I should kind of know. Becca's the only real one. Is this... Oh, I think I get it. So I think that these are where we start out in the game. And I think I'm getting better with Marianne, but I'm getting worse with Rebecca. But in all honesty, Rebecca's kind of a pussy bitch. Yeah, Honey Pop really did. I really liked Honey Pop, though. I didn't really care for the art style in Honeycam. Honeycam's art style really simplified everything, and I fucking hated it, because even though it was super cartoony and cute, it was not anywhere near as appealing. How's it going, Justin? This alone, it's impossible not to think of what truly happened earlier. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just my paranoia at work? Temporary lapse in my own mind after having heard all those tales about this place? Honeycam was like a huge disappointment, right? Like, because I was under the impression I was going to see boobs like in Honey Pop, and then there were no boobs. I mean, come on. It's Honeycam. There has to be boob, right? Like, I'm not the only one here, right? I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such, so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. Pimp Training Simulator. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have just handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I am clutching it. That's a really hard question to answer because I like them for different reasons. I think Honey Pop, the fact that it has like really adorable anime ladies, appeals to me more than the anime guys. Because, I mean, as great as guys look, women are just prettier. But Dream Daddy implemented some really unique game features, such as the Pokemon level, I guess, Pokemon gameplay element, whereas Honey Pop was literally the same repetitive, you know, talk, take them somewhere, talk, shove food in their face, talk, and then play a fucking Bejeweled game for 5 minutes. So overall, I'd say Dream Daddy is probably the better game, but I find the aesthetics of Honey Pop more appealing. I love how I'm bouncing between that and narrative. It's a cursory reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. And here I was only going to point out that that chandelier had been swinging the entire time. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancied feathered hats on their heads. I don't think Dream Daddy has anywhere near that, Thork. Although coming out on top does. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring amongst themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has a superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
First floor and ground floor are the same things. So, are you just trying to confuse rich people? I wish someone would do something about these fucking birds right there. They're constant. Imagine someone says the word murmur in real life. Really? In Europe, they're 2 different things? Hearing this, a few wander towards me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. I guess the first floor is considered the top floor in Europe? No, this is actually, I think this is supposed to be the UK. Because they mentioned like Luxborough and stuff. Miss McCullough also joins our group. But what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
His voice does not fit him.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Fair. Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or the television? I can't quite remember. Nor do I give a damn. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two have too. Sex machine. What does that have to... What? I think you're just typing random things in. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wondering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'll say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact, peas in a pod. I think they are brother and sister if it isn't for their public display. Oh. I'll think that they're brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. Matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get the I've been slurring my words all day and I don't know why. Couple or not, what's important is we get the deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing agreement. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. My mouth isn't tired. However, I am careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for a sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it. Luxborn, not Luxborough.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
How do you not know what stained glass is? I've known what stained glass is since I was like 10.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
I don't like his voice.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything.
You shouldn't need a legal team to buy a house.
Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. Yes, they have to have space and dual levels and a slip and slide lubricated with, I don't know, 80 gallons. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Finally, a different backdrop. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I only seen fairy tale books before. I'm probably not going to be doing any voice acting auditions today because I can't pronounce shit. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this'll be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
A dead body.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up, Mr. Luke Wright, if my memory supplies from the forms are signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. How's it going, eh? What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, it just gives me the impression of a child who's just seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. On a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Jesus Christ! So, Thoric, to explain it. I can explain it. The text that I am reading, the silent text, is Isabella's internal dialogue and a narration of what's happening. So she's only voicing what her character is saying aloud. Everything else is happening inside her head.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
What is this? What is this? So she's
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
Well, I guess if one of them is my voice, then yeah. There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he's started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score. Can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes on without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room on the ground floor and are heading up to the parlor. Funny, the first time we surveyed the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a prospective sale. That's his wife. Those two are husband and wife. They're not related. Or at least God, I hope not. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corners of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look to see what it is. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break into a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. Probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Till a hand touches my
Hello,
shoulder.
you there?
It's weird change.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana.
My ethnicity? Or her ethnicity?
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is she being serious? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an
Wait,
answer.
ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion.
Oh, Isabel's ethnicity. No, it has not revealed her
A
ethnicity
sale would be great
yet.
and all, but
She stops me from speaking any further, putting a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
Hey! I like cats. Also, I wish I knew what it was like for money not to be an option.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Oh no! No! Go back! Go back. Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? I like turtles. More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
I bet you are.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
Anniversary gift. Buy a mansion!
And it would be
Why
so
not?
wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Where's his hand?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I struggle not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. Ugh. Yes, escrow. Forever an escrow. Something I learned about buying a house. Your house is forever in escrow. Like, not literally, but like, it's like, oh, it's in escrow now, and then you wait forever. I can't help but send an imploring look back at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
Well, his hand's down now. His hand was like back here.
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
You own the house?
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors, too, and... What's this?
Ooh, she's pretty here. Again, art style is different. Coming Out on Top did this too. They had a different artist for their like character profiles, and then they had a different artist for the actual full pictures. And this is gorgeous, except for him. He looks creepy. But these ladies are gorgeous, but ugh. Look of confusion and disgust is apparent on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Fucking hate JoJo. Also, this is a different art style.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Yeah, I agree. Miss McCullough is really
Shush,
pretty.
love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am.
Why do they all have red eyeliner under their eyes?
Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything earlier. Are the papers I handed out not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong, but I don't want to mess this up. By the way, Ma'am Hana is leading the conversation. I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I don't interrupt.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Well, it just seems weird that two people that do not, like, know each other whatsoever and are only first meeting both have red eyeliner under their eyes. God damn it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Yeah, the brunette is either Irish or Scottish. Because her name's Marianne McCulloch. A twang is like, an accent. A smile is back on her lips when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
Let me guess. Yep. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills
Isabella?
my mind.
Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I don't even notice when Rose, as well as the other group touring the mansion, joins us in the parlor. Want nothing more than to say to no one, not all right. I want to leave this place. No, Tang is the instant orange drink. Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter and that woman in the attic, it's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless, I've been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I've gone mad? Just say it was from someone.
Rose,
Words are stuck in my throat. Want to tell her, I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in the house, in the attic, in the letter. It's going to go after us. Please believe me.
Dear me. Is Isabella all right?
Isabella! Ma'am Hana's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her features. I don't even notice when she has removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me to sit down on a nearby chair. You can't say it right because of your tang. It's called Tang. T-A-N-G. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCullough asking for a passing food server for a glass of water. Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines, although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
No. She offers me a drink and I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it.
She's doing her thing by calling that Tang twin.
Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if the place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm lost at the door of the parlor when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler. Eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her
Hey,
lips.
I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before.
Like, a body stuffed in a couch. That apparently was something they
If we
did.
don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And, look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless. More of an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
Rose is not Irish.
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery.
Yeah, no, this woman's named Rose Santos.
But
she doesn't have any
I
accent.
think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
Aw, thank you, Mew.
That's what you said
I
earlier.
love my headphones.
I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even
we
over, and
can't,
I'm already
Dork.
feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation is taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
No shit.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
This game is a visual novel about chain letters, and a haunted mansion.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
How do you not know what a noob means? My fucking mother knows what a noob means. At the memory, she dissolves into helpless giggles, which I also join in, earning a strange look from the guests milling about the door. Game is matching each gal's hair color to an accent or a twang, but not a tang. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
It basically
I'm not
means
an invalid, Rose.
It basically means a newbie.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
You're young and inexperienced, and you don't know what you're doing. Is a noob.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. Or at least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
It's not short for Norwegian boob, Thork. Stop spreading your lies. Yeah, no worry. These have been fun facts with Silvermort. She's gone before I can say a word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. Few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies gathered some ways opposite of me is occupied with friendly banter about which one will cost more to buy. A little argument here and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. Conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon hangout will help. Oh wow. That's a long time ago, Mew. Yeah, it actually still is a pretty small channel, in all honesty. I haven't even reached 3K subs, but I mean, I'm working towards it. Why do people say foyer and foyer? Preference? Speaking of, I should call Ash. A few hours earlier, and I should have told him he did ask once I'm done. But you're not done! Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Pretty sure Rose wanted to take you to the hospital, or bribe me into giving him one. Not that I'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. I'm not a big channel. There's channels out there that have like 10 million subscribers. I am not a big channel. If something I find admirable, man, fuck my tongue. It is not happy. Honestly, if there's something I'd find admirable in him, admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. And his beautiful watercolor painted face. Hey, whatever way works. Free ride is still a free ride. Oh, that's very sweet, Thork. Yeah, Silvermort is dealing with a very lazy tongue today. You should have seen me trying to answer the phones at work. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. Oh. The description says the game is VVVVVVV.
Shit! Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble?
Shit,
Better
how loud
not
is this
lie.
thing even?
I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Looking
This
for
fucking
trouble?
thing.
Better not lie.
A sharp ringing
I'm a
fills the
cool
entire
dude.
hall,
Pretty
disrupting
fly
the
for
pleasant
an
quiet
Asian
that
guy.
is settled. Soon
Sup,
enough,
I'm
heads began
Ash
to
from
turn in search of the
Deluxe City.
source, mine included.
Baggers, watch out. Can't
My eyes
beat
darted
me.
around the
Looking
small
for
crowd
trouble?
before zeroing
Better
in on a
not lie.
lone figure
I'm a
crouched
cool
behind
dude.
the same
Pretty
group of
fly
old
for an
people,
Asian guy.
checking out the
Sup,
decor
I'm Ash from
moments ago.
Deluxe City. Baggers,
He's facing
watch
away
out.
from me,
Can't
fumbling with
beat me.
something in his
Looking
hands.
for
Oh,
trouble?
he's there, okay.
Better not lie.
But I don't
I'm
need to
a
see his
cool
face to
dude.
know whose
Pretty
back
fly
is.
for an Asian guy.
I'll recognize that
Sup,
dumb park
I'm Ash from
anywhere.
Deluxe City.
Without bothering to end
Baggers,
the car
watch
and
out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie.
Apparently.
I'm a cool dude. Pretty
I'd
fly
hang up
for an
too, because
Asian
fuck
guy.
that. That is the
Sup,
stupidest
I'm
shit.
Ash from Deluxe
Shut
City.
up!
Baggers, watch out.
Ugh.
Can't beat me. Looking for
Really not in the
trouble?
mood to deal with
Better
this.
not
Of
lie.
all the
I'm a
times to-
cool dude.
You
Pretty
do
fly
not
for an
look
Asian
as
guy.
beautiful in
Sup,
as
I'm
in
Ash
oh
from
my gosh,
Deluxe
this
City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Look
Ashton Frey!
Oh, thank God. Don't worry about if you can't donate. It's okay. I've actually had some really great donations lately, as you can see by the ticker, and by my tip jar being decently filled up, and it's actually been very helpful because I've been saving up for some things. I bought a new chair that's being shipped here, you know, stuff like that. So don't feel bad if you can't donate. I know not everyone has expendable income. What happens next is something I'll surely regret for later for not having recorded.
Ah!
I know, right? What? Why would you ever have that fucking ringtone? That is the worst ringtone in the world. He jumps, lets out a dignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. I almost dropped my phone today. My life flashed before my eyes. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. You've been broke for 9 months? That sucks. Oh, I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Huh. An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too-quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes while he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and his cheeks. In another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing is not a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'll find that adorable. Everyone that hits my store just takes the free shit. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his normally collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
I find that the male voices in this don't match the characters' faces.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be a bit more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
You own a store, Thorn?
A mansion?
I'm confused.
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with
Ashton,
me.
I am
Shit.
not in the mood. What are you doing here?
Chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something earlier than expected, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. My confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his
And
head.
I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
I did not convince anyone that twang is tang. Tang is an orange drink that's made from a powder, and twang is an accent.
So here I
I
am.
think you guys are just enjoying fucking
Figured
with me.
you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client at least.
We have a mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
Tang was something that was like super big like a couple decades ago. Like, it was astronaut drink and stuff. It's basically orange flavored drink.
No,
You should do a
wait!
Google search for
I
it.
wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sure, that's not the only long, hard thing that he wants to give me, judging by why he's here to pick me up. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping to drop the subject and won't ask me more questions. Last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Yeah, it was at least a couple decades ago. Isabella is super cranky. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend, except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you a detailed explanation of why those things have no chance of ever being real. They had a gorilla? He's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he'll get. Ash and I would not be friends. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. Don't worry about it, trust me. I'm considerably older than you, and Tang wasn't even really big when I was around. I already imagined how things will go down the moment I spill a word what he saw in the attic. Nope, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shoved a letter still clasped in the hand deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Maybe it wasn't orange.
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
Some weird sounds. What do you mean it wasn't orange? Hold on, now I have to fucking look this up. Holy shit, there were... there was different types of tang? Huh. Tang was used in early NASA manned space flights. There you go. Enjoy that. Now that I'm flooding my own chat with everything. God damn it. And strawberry, it looks like. So, with that said, that was kind of interesting. But see, that shows how unpopular it was when I was a kid. Like, I remember commercials for Ovaltine and Tang and stuff, but, like, they weren't huge. Because, I mean, they were made way back. Anyway. That being said, I think I've done a excessive job of confusing the shit out of all of you. How old are you, Justin? You can't be that old. Confusing the shit out of all of you and basically slurring my words to an unfathomable amount, in all honesty, because I have just been... You're not that old. I'm older than you. Anyway. Never revealing my age. I'll take it to my grave. Okay, with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully tomorrow I'll actually be able to speak the English language with without just... Hey, thank you for subscribing. That was very sweet. Thank you, Alberta Zavala. And with that, I hope all of you have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time on the same channel, whichever one you're watching, to play more The Letter. Troy, you can shut the fuck up. Wow. Now I really do feel old. Alright, I will see all of you guys later. I hope you have a great night, and I'll be back tomorrow to play more of this visual novel. Bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching me. If you like what you see, why not click the like or subscribe button located below. It's because of amazing viewers like you that I am able to continue doing this and do the things I love and the things that keep you entertained, hopefully. If you have time, why not check out our website at www.quitsgaming.com and join our Discord, where we have a small group of people who do voice acting, play games together, do live streams together, as well as you can get your live stream added to it. So I will see you on there.